Most people try to manage their triggers by avoiding them, creating boundaries, avoiding toxic people, telling people around them to act a certain way so they don't push their buttons and don't upset them, or need to, handle conversations with them in a certain way so that they don't get offended, and need to regulate their nervous systems, right, at all costs. What I want to share with you in this video is an alternate view. Might be counter to what is out there and is trending, but this is actually going to offer you true freedom, true healing, and being able to look at your triggers as a teacher. So what do we talk about with triggers? Well, there are events that happen in life that they can get stuck. All right, things that happen when we were little that we maybe didn't have the capacity to emotionally digest. And these undigested events from our past, they live in us. And then in today's, right, whatever happens with situations with people or relationships, something occurs and it bumps up against this thing from our past, right? It just has the same essence. Like maybe this is a dramatic example, but your father left when you were 2 years old or passed away. And now your best friend, is leaving your job, and you get so upset, even though it's the best thing for your friend, you are so upset. Why? Because it is bumped up against this prior wound of feeling abandoned or whatever it might be, right? That you sort of took that experience when you were a child as. And now you're having this emotional reaction. You're triggered, right? It's like a landmine of emotions has gone off, which seems disproportionate to what's actually happened in the present moment. And you can, at the level of the mind, analyze this. Journaling is very helpful for that. Mental health therapy is very helpful for that, right? Some people could write a novel about, okay, well, my parents did all of these things and now I am this way. And all of that is wonderful. But what I would ask you is, has it actually shifted the root of the issue? Or are you needing to now manage your environment so that those feelings of abandonment don't get triggered? I want to free you from having to manage anything outside of yourself, and to show you how to go within and handle that actual original emotional piece that didn't get digested. And you don't have to relive it, right? You're not going to be re-traumatized. This is a very simple technique. It's called the Energetic Diffusion Technique, because we want to diffuse this blocked energy that is in your system. Now, how does this work? Well, when I work with my students, basically, I will have them bring into mind a situation. Maybe they recently got triggered by something at their job, or there's just something not wrong, right, in the current relationship they're having. They're butting heads. They're not even sure. They can't quite articulate what it is. They bring this into their awareness, and then I ask them to feel it in their body. Again, I don't want to relive it. I don't need all the details. If they tell me more than a sentence, I say, zoop, where do you feel that in your body? And it is amazing. When you stop and you ask, your body speaks through sensation. And you might feel it as heaviness in your chest, like a rock in your hip, or a ball in the back of your shoulder, or like tension in the throat. It is amazing how the body will start to speak to you. And then what do? Well, we go into that. We say, okay, let's breathe with that. Not breathing to get rid of it, like go away, but breathing to go, it's okay that you're here. I'm willing to feel you now. And then to fully feel what's there. Notice the details. Notice the subtleties of the sensation of what the body is trying to say. And then relax around it, right? Let it know it's okay that you're here. Create space, loosen, widen, invite it to come forth, right? Typically, what do? We sweep it under the rug. We try and get rid of it. We try and push through. No, this is the opposite. We're saying, hey, we've kept you blocked long enough. Now I want to allow you to be fully felt, fully heard. Whatever needs to be, let it be. And it is amazing that simply shining a light of awareness, giving it this space, what will it do? Well, all it ever wanted to do, which was move through. And it will start to move, and you'll watch. The sensation will shift. The rock will start to loosen, right? The heaviness will start to disappear. It might even move to different parts of the body until it just moves out. Sometimes as it moves, tears might come, or other emotions might come through, or coughing might happen. And this is, again, it's just moving through, and all you have to do is allow it. This technique tells you all you need to do is allow it to be. It just wanted to be acknowledged. You don't have to control it. You don't have to resist it. You don't have to encourage it. You just need to let it be, and it is so healing. I want to share with you some of my students' experiences. I had one woman who had just lost her husband. And she reached out to me and said, there is just constriction in my throat. I feel like I can't even get a full breath in because of the constriction in my throat. And we did the energetic diffusion technique. We did an EDT in our session together. And as we allowed this feeling to be felt and it moved, all of a sudden it was like the grief that had been living there, right? That's the feeling that was there, was given permission to be felt and move through. And she said after the session, it opened up fully. She was able to start singing again, which ultimately brought her closer to her husband because it was something that they had done together while he was alive. I had another student that was pregnant and she was having a ton of discomfort in her hips. And so in this situation, right, she wasn't triggered, but the body was speaking to her. And maybe you have that where you're like, man, when I'm stressed out or there's just like a chronic tension in my back or my neck. For her, it was in her hips. And so again, we do EDT and we allow it to be fully felt. And sometimes the body will speak, and it's not the mind saying this, it's the intuition, right? It's a different voice. And what was living there was fear. And once it was allowed to be expressed and the fear was allowed to be felt, it just moved through. It's like a child, right, that's upset. What do you do with a child that comes to you and they're upset? You hold them. You just let them feel what they're feeling, knowing that it just needs to move through, and then they're going to be fine, right? It's the same that you need to do with yourself. I had another student that had something pretty traumatic happen decades prior. A loved one had passed away in his arms, and he had carried that with him. And in the session, we brought it into awareness. And then I said, fully feel it in your body. And he said, once he fully felt it, it was like it went from this heaviness to this tingling sensation, and the whole thing released. And after the session, he said, it feels like this backpack of rocks that I've just been carrying around is gone, and I'm free. Guys, this is true freedom. This is soul level healing. This is inner transformation, and it requires you to have the audacity to look in the face of what is triggering you and to realize, hey, the external world is actually creating the right circumstance for me to see this thing that I didn't process, this thing within me that still needs to be digested fully, the emotion that needs to run through, the energy that needs to just be felt. And if you allow these triggers to be your teacher, amazing transformation will happen. You will have immense gratitude for the people around you that are actually pushing your buttons because they're showing you things that you otherwise wouldn't know were there. And I hope that you try this. So in this next video, I will walk you through an EDT exercise so you can feel it. And now I know it can be even deeper when you have someone there with you to be able to go back and forth and talk about what it is that you're feeling and drop you deeper and deeper into the body, because the mind will come in. It always comes in. And I do that. If you want to go deeper, you can reach out to me. My email is in the description. You can also look into my Inner Reset series where we do this. And I look forward to hearing in the comments what you think. What questions you have about this. It is very counter, I know, to what is out there, but this is how you truly go in and deal with the root of the issue. And you pull it out at the root so that you never have to deal with it again. And you can handle life without these emotional triggers flying you all over the place. All right, I look forward to hearing from you, and thank you so much.